his opinions.
Can you get me a little typeset?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
You're tired.
Well, the lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, but nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
It must be Wednesday. I called it hump day.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hump day.
Huh? Anybody? Mike. What day is it, Mike? Listen, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
It is hump day in the doghouse. It is a master fecta hump day in the doghouse. It's also a bit of a potpourri hump day in the doghouse as well, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first and foremost, it's the master fecta, and we are looking for your three-man team for this event. It is Masters Week. We have no show tomorrow. We're blocked by the Braves and the Mets tomorrow. We'll be back on Friday, so that gives us this day to get you in on the master fecta. So now is the time to get yourself in on the deal, and we have left the first hour of the show wide open for you. We have a foursome at Cherokee Ridge on the line. That's a $380 value. So as I said, the first hour of the show is wide open. That's your best chance to get in. Now you can get in through the text window as well. Your phone line is open right now at 256-576-4977. It's 256-576-4977. The exclusive text window is 7329-TA-SHOW. 732-982-7469 to text the show. It's a great way to communicate with us. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. We're on Facebook at 97.7 ESPN, where you can get a link to our YouTube channel at WZZN TV. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you will get notifications. Go to 97.7ESPN.com and get links to all of that stuff. And while you're at it, get our app. Just search 97.7 ESPN, the Zone, from your app store, and you get the app on your phone where you can listen to links to Zone 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well, all our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. And snag the Talk Radio WZZN app as well. You get Fox News and Fox Sports programming there, plus the Rocket City Trash Pandas, and for everything that is going on at the station, including our remote schedule and when the next Zone deal drops, you can check out our calendar at 97.7ESPN.com. And speaking of the Trash Pandas, the voice of the Trash Pandas, Josh Caray, is coming up later on in hour number 2 of the show with a Caray's Corner segment. We'll talk some ball with him 2 weeks into the Major League Baseball season. Last night's home opener got rained out. They are scheduled to open tonight. We'll see how the weather holds up and to get things going against the Birmingham Barons tonight down at Toyota Field. Josh has all of the Trash Panda action over on Talk Radio WZZN 97.7-2 on your digital FM radio and on the Talk Radio WZZN app. At the top of the one, Drew McNutt is back from the Castin and Ketchin charity bass fishing event on Gunnersville to benefit Children's Hospital. Now, they've got the par 3 contest going on now in Augusta. They got 5 hours of par 3 contest coverage from Augusta here on this Wednesday. It's a tradition like no other. I mean, it's always so cool to see all the legends mixed in there with some of the current stars of the game. Some of these guys are in great shape, some not so much, like Ian Wisdom. I mean, the Ian Wisdom looks like he's about as wide as he is tall right now. And then there's Freddie Couples out there, 64 years old, still with that syrupy, smooth swing. It's absolutely amazing. And he's going to play one more time in the big tourney beginning tomorrow. He has indicated that this one, his 39th Masters, could be his final go-round. There's just so much history at the Masters. I mean, really, it's one of the things, it's one of my top 3 favorite sporting events of the year, and I'm not sure what the other 2 are. And it's just so much, it just reeks with nostalgia. And whatever it is about this tournament, whenever it's on, I don't know, there's just so many things that flood to my mind from over the years. And really, I got to be totally honest with you. One of my biggest regrets to date in my life, and I don't have a lot of regrets, but one of my biggest regrets to date in my life is that I have not made good on a 20-year-old promise to my dad to take him there. My father was a huge golf fan, played golf his whole life, taught me the game of golf, introduced me to it. He hasn't played in years. He's 84 years old now. And I had promised back about 20 years ago that I was going to get him there, even if it was just for a Wednesday practice round, that he and I were going to go and walk the grounds at Augusta. I thought I was pretty close at one point, but my connections all kind of dried up. And I'm just going to have to figure out, I don't know, I mean, I'm going to be 85 next year. I mean, is there any way to get this done? I have to kind of figure out a way to get it done, even if it's just to go there for a Wednesday and just to walk those grounds. I have never been on the course. They talk about how absolutely gorgeous these grounds are. You come off of Washington Street and you just have no idea what you're about to witness. Now, I've been to Augusta several times, but I've never been through that gate. I've seen that there's just a little sign that says Augusta National. It's hanging right there, and that's it. And it's very, nondescript, but it's all, the fences are all covered, with green tarp and everything else. And apparently when you go down that, down Magnolia Drive, and now you end up on the, the grounds proper, it's just startling. And I got to get there. I got to get there. I don't know when or how, and I got to get there, and I got to get there with my dad. I got to take him. Somehow I got to make that happen. All right. This is also Uncle Vern's final Masters at 83 years old. He's done it for 40 years. And pretty much anybody who is anybody at CBS over the years as a broadcaster has done the Masters. I mean, the list is amazing. I mean, Pat Summerall, back in the day. Pat Summerall was Jim Nantz before Jim Nantz was Jim Nantz. And Jack Whitaker would be on the Masters. Vin Scully did the Masters. I mean, the list of broadcasters that have done it is just absolutely incredible. It's just amazing. Now, of course, we got plenty of other stuff to get into on the show today as well. Some college football in there. Commentary about why the women's national championship game had 4 million more viewers than the men. I told you I thought the men's game was going to come in around 14.5 million, and it did. The women's game was 18.5 million. The men's was 14.5 million, and everyone has an opinion as to why this happened. One of them is, see, we told you, it doesn't have to be in prime time. Game doesn't have to be in prime time. The women played at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. The men played at 9:10 Eastern, 9:20 Eastern on Monday night. And they're acting like that was a better time slot. Are you kidding me? You telling me that the men's game wouldn't have done better at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday on CBS on the broadcast network instead of being on TNT at 9:20 Eastern time, 8:20 Central time on a Monday night when we all got to go to work on Tuesday? Get out of here. Don't act like it was a deterrent. See, you put the women's game out in the middle of the afternoon on Sunday. People still watch it. What are you talking about? The woman had a better time slot. This whole thing about primetime games in the middle of the night, it's way vastly overrated. You do realize that the NFL on Sunday afternoon gets higher ratings than it does on Sunday night or on Monday night. The feature NFL game on a Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock and 3:25 in the afternoon Central Time gets 24 million. Gets 5 or 6 million more than Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. Stop jamming us with all this primetime stuff. And it's got to be into prime time. Prime time for sports is Sunday afternoon. Anyway, there are other opinions as to why the women's game is just better. The women's game is... There are other opinions about it. We got some baseball here on the show as well when we're talking with Josh Caray. Talk about the arm injuries with the pitchers. Now everybody's, I see it's a pitch clock. Oh, yeah, right. An extra 3 seconds because you have to throw a pitch 3 or 4 seconds sooner than you were before. That's why you guys are blowing your arm out. Doesn't have anything to do with trying to throw 100 all the time, does it? We'll get into that. Mel Kiper has his 4th mock draft out just 2 weeks before the draft goes live, 2 weeks from tomorrow. I need to think about bringing back the Draftfecta. You guys remember that? I need to think about it. I'll explain it, and then you guys can decide if you're interested in doing it. It was kind of cool. It was a fun thing that we did. It culminated, we did it with a remote the day of the draft, and then the draft would be that night. Got to think whether or not we want to do that or not. All right, over there in a little glass room with the slanted ceiling, playing the Platters of Matter on a Stacks of Wax and answering the phones and keeping us on the air and doing that thing he do. It's Coach Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
That Tom? Hey, Tom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the f*** it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
Grizzle Leches, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Ronald Acuna's up to 4 stolen bases, so he's already, already ready for another record-breaking season for sure.
All right. So that's the first thing that comes to your mind. Hey, Ronald Acuna.
3 stolen bases.
4 stolen bases.
He's got 3 in a game last night, but yeah.
3 bases stolen last night. And
crazy.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
I hate the Mets. The Mets suck. I care about baseball. I don't care about TV ratings for college women's basketball and and everything like that. I get it. They put it in the wrong slot, in my opinion, too. They basically shined all they did, and I agree with you in a sense that it is a lot of the market that's promoting it as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're sitting here this morning. I think First Take had the WNBA draft commissioner or the WNBA commissioner on talking about the draft and getting everything set up for the draft and one big show. And then you've got ESPN shows where it's kind of like the Manning cast where it's Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird. And it's those 2 people are the GOATs of that game, not the people that you're talking about, not these extra shows that you're putting on the side because it's your programming. It's just, we just got so, I think sports gambling too has to be a big factor in this as well, that we just got so Wait
a minute. What is?
I think it's a lot easier.
I'm trying to follow you.
Well, what I'm saying is it's we sit here and we got so infused in Caitlin Clark and the women's game and everything like that for 2 years.
There wasn't a big handle on the game though. I mean, it's not like people were gambling on the game.
Well, it's just for 2 years, I feel that we just got pressured on it. And I'm how is she better than all the other players that came before her and everything like that were considered the GOAT and everything?
I mean, because she broke all their records.
She didn't really come into the scene until last year in the tournament. And then if you look at it, a lot of times I look at players if you're good enough to go into college, or in the pros or whatever, which, I mean, if she goes to the NBA, it's not going to help her. But anyway, what I'm saying is if you look at what she's going to bring into the WNBA, she's 6 foot tall. She better be able to shoot the lights out of it like Steph Curry, or she'll get packed out of the gym, or she'll get blocked out of the gym.
6 foot in the WNBA is That's like 6'4".
Yeah,
in the
but
NBA.
if you go, I mean, Kelsey Plum's is taller than her. You got all these other great players that are. I mean, I just think that like the taller player, the more dominant player, really benefits in that game, in my opinion. And I just think that like we got hooked on it for like 2 years. We watched it. It got promoted for 2 years. It was huge. It was big. We liked the villain hero aspect of it because we like this weird WWE type of like mentality when we take into each game and stuff like that. Like that's the reason why we don't like.
You put a lot of thought into this, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it's because we don't like the friendships that are going on in the NBA and some in the MLB and some other sports and everything like that. We like the villain and the hero and everything like that, and yet I feel like that's. I mean, look at wrestling right now. I don't even want to talk about wrestling, but look at wrestling right now.
Who is the villain in the?
I would say Caitlin Clark was.
basketball.
Oh, I'd say LSU was the villain the entire year.
The whole LSU
Oh
team
yeah, definitely.
is the villain?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Angel Reese for sure, because I mean you got both. You got good and bad for her. And then Caitlin Clark was the victim or the hero the entire time. Oh, come back and win. But then South Carolina, which was like basically like an Alabama type team that just knew they were going to win. They were going to come in here. They went undefeated. They became what now? The 8th team that's gone undefeated, I think, in women's college basketball. So 38-0. Dominant. You want to pull for them, and they wanted to go out and beat Caitlin Clark because they put them out in the semifinals. And I just think that it was like maybe they actually promoted it correctly now. Maybe that's how you need to get women's college basketball to be bigger than the men's game. But like I said, like the two different time frames.
I don't think the game is bigger than the men's game.
Yeah.
I think this particular moment. I don't think we'll see this happen again. It's not like the women's game is always going to outdraw the men's game. Now,
I
it's
just
not gonna
wonder
happen.
how many eyeballs like Brittany Griner drew when she was dominating and dunking all over and everyone's like, "Oh, we should lower the goal because then she'd make the game better." And I mean,
you really did you have 3 cups of coffee already this morning?
No, I've had a lot of caffeine, but I'm good. I just
jacked up a little bit today.
No,
I mean, you seem,
I've been working all morning. I'm always working, man.
You're taking your randomness has gone to a different level here. You are all over the lot here. You are fired up, and you talk about the baseball, about caring about the baseball. Then you talk about the women's basketball all this time. Do you know how many people watched the baseball game Sunday night after 14.5 million people watch it? Women's basketball
3?
game? Well, about 1.5 million.
I was close, okay, but yeah.
I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I want to talk. I would love to talk hockey all the time. I love the NHL, but there's only 500,000 people that are watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love fishing. You know what I mean? I do a fishing show, thank God. But otherwise, I would want to talk about fishing all the time. But it's really not. 14 million people watched it. 18 million people watched the women's championship game. And that was by 4 million more than watched the men's game. And I think that there's other areas. I think the incessant promotion by ESPN is a big factor.
Yeah, and that's what I was agreeing with you on
with
from
the
the
men,
start,
with
yeah.
the men being on CBS and being on TBS and TNT, other than the game itself, where was the 15 hours of pregame? Because that's what it seemed like on the women's side throughout the entire tournament. It seemed like there were the games, and then there were nonstop 24/7 promotion of the games on ESPN and features about Caitlin Clark and features about Angel Reese and features about Kim Mulkey and features about Dawn Staley and all of this stuff. They had all of this programming to fill, and they filled it all with all of this information about the women's game, whereas with the men's game, you would get the games. And then TBS would go back to showing Starsky and Hutch or TNT or True TV, whatever they were showing. You know what I mean? They didn't pound you with it for hours and hours and hours, and then you got to watch the game. It's compelling.
My thing is, like, the best show is is the TNT show after the NBA on TNT, and it's like that show on CBS was the TNT show on TBS was the best thing out of that entire thing, and I don't know how you couldn't do more pregame of that. That really
because those guys don't because they got to air their other programming because they're not a 24/7 sports programming.
Yeah.
It's just not the way it is. So they're gonna put their other programming in there. Not to mention the fact that listening to Charles Barkley talk about college basketball it's almost comical. I mean, it was comical for Saturday Night Live did a feature about it. They did a bit. About Charles Barkley, how he didn't know anything, and they had the guy that was playing Ernie Johnson, and they had a guy playing Kenny the Jet, And they had a guy, the Ernie Johnson guy, said to Chuck, so Chuck, so what did you think about how Alabama and UConn? And he goes, well, to be honest with you, Ernie, I didn't watch the game. Of course he didn't watch the game.
Yeah.
He's not paid it. He doesn't care about
he's not.
it.
He's just sitting in this chair
he's so
waiting on his phone.
miscast.
Yeah.
He's just so totally miscast in it. But we'll get into some of those reasons. But we have an interesting thing. We're going to get a break in here so that we can stay on I got to digest everything that Grizz said there. I mean, there was a lot there. I mean, he just jammed 10 pounds of crap into a 5-pound bag right there, man. I mean, there was a lot he covered. I got to digest that in my head. In the meantime, the guys who tied, I'm not talking about our bracket challenge. That was the big bracket challenge. I'm not talking about the bracket challenge. The guys who tied in the Final Four Fecta, Natty Danny and Smokey Mike, are both holding right now. And Natty Danny already has decided to give Smokey Mike the overnight stay at the Guntersville State Park Lodge overlooking Guntersville Lake and the $30 voucher to the Pinecrest room. Now, Natty Danny went to Bubby's. He already came in, got his food, and went to Bubby's last night. And from what I understand, they way enjoyed Bubby's. I mean, they absolutely loved Bubby's last night. So, Natty Danny, Smokey Mike, they'll be making their Masters pick next right here on the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, and pick up the phone to call, one you've seen on a billboard or on TV begging for your business, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. You don't want to reach a call center, not in some office 100 miles away. With the Lackey Law Firm, that never happens. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to. We're the ones that you meet with.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case. You want to talk to me? You just call me.
And we'll take care of it. You worry about getting well. We'll take care of the rest.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And I'll go you one better. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
I'm here today with Dr. Tracy Lowry of Veracity Vein Center. Now, how does someone suspect they have vein issues?
The most common symptoms associated with vein issues include leg heaviness, aching, and swelling, with some patients having visible veins as well. Vein issues can be easily diagnosed using ultrasound, with treatments performed as an outpatient using the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Both men and women have vein issues, though men may be more likely to ignore their symptoms when they're playing golf or walking the stadium steps. They too will benefit from correction of their vein problem. Patients can contact our clinics in Huntsville and new clinics in Madison and Coleman at 256-715-7151 or visit us at veracityweincenter.com.
Veracity Vein Center, Alabama's premier vein center.
Come see
see your Rocket City Trash Pandas take on the Birmingham Barons tonight for the first dog day of the season. Not only can you bring your favorite four-legged friend out to the park, but the first 1,500 adults through the gates will receive a Ben Joyce bobblehead. Get your tickets now while you still can at tptix.com. That's tptix.com.
Let's rock it.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. It's going to be much warmer this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s. Unfortunately, we're going to continue to talk about the opportunity for showers and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley, so we're not going to be able to get outside and enjoy the warmer air. Some of the thunderstorms as we head into the later part of Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday evening could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. Our big concern there would be heavy rain leading to a little bit of flooding and some gusty winds. Temperatures drop into the mid-upper 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Thursday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many, many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's a very fitting song because the breeze is going to be blowing pretty good tomorrow at Augusta. Round one. Welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. We do have your master effecta for you. By the way, those of you watching on WZZN TV, today's set featuring a couple of items. Grizz, as you may see here, I'm not sure because I'm not looking at the actual feed on YouTube, but the right here, we have my old driver, see, with the golf theme, my old driver, because this is the driver I snapped the other day. I broke on purpose. Oof. This is the one I broke.
On purpose,
I'm dumb.
okay.
I did it on purpose. Oh, no, I did it on purpose.
Not like the guy
done.
that literally, I think he drove the ball and then the club head went further than the ball. Yeah.
I've had that happen. But no, this is my old Callaway 10-degree Hyper X driver, which I used to hit well and haven't hit well in years. So I got so frustrated with it, I just snapped it about an old man driver. And then over here is this is a trophy that I won in something. Oh, the Backfield in Motion, third place trophy for Backfield in Motion tournament. And hanging on the trophy there, that is an actual bag tag from the Masters, from Augusta, from the 2002 Masters, back when I thought I had my hookup. I was going to take my dad. At the time, he was 64 years old. I was 44 years old. 43 years old, and I was going to take my dad to the Masters because I had a guy that I worked for that they had a cabin there, and they were loaded, Mr. George Beasley, all kinds of money. They flew up on a private jet from Fort Myers, Florida, and they would go and spend the week at Augusta and everything else, and they promised to take me. They were going to take me, and I said, look, don't even have to take me. I don't have to fly on a jet with you. Just get me in the door with 2 tickets because I want to take my old man. Then I also knew a guy at CBS because my very first job in the media was I was at the 9th hole at Oak Hill Country Club in the 1989 U.S. Open, and my job was to report scores back to the truck, to the scoring truck for the graphics, to the graphics truck. So I knew that guy. He worked for CBS. He was part of the crew that always worked at CBS for the Masters, and then he would also, they got to play. The crew would get to play on Monday and stuff like that there. So anyway, I lost both those hookups, and now I'm reduced to I don't know. I don't even know how to. I guess I had to find a way. You can't find a ticket.
Yeah.
You have to buy it in the aftermarket, and even just to take them for practice round is that's my goal right now, is to find 2 tickets for a practice round for the next Masters, because I'm not sure how many more he has. Now, Grumpy says, just wait 5 more years. He'll be 90. Take him to Cherokee Ridge and tell him it's Augusta. He won't know the difference. Kind of rude. I don't know about that. All right, let's go to the lines. First with Smokey Mike, who tied with Natty Danny. We did not hear from him yesterday or Monday, but Smokey Mike tied with Natty Danny in the Final Four fecta. Smokey Mike, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing quite all right, big dog. I'm ready to see what's going on at Augusta this weekend, and stoked for this Masters tournament after seeing a nice WrestleMania, I would say that. And, and Grizz put out such a word salad in that first segment. I thought a commercial break was quite necessary.
Yeah.
I
mean,
thought
that
I'd
was
get
like,
most of my talking in, on a Wednesday,
holy
for the show.
mackerels.
So I just tried.
I mean, he was all over it a lot, man. He was just setting everything on fire. I mean, he
If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place.
That's what he did right there.
I wouldn't need a flamethrower. It'd probably just break.
Yeah, people broke out that. Now, did you hear that that Natty Danny deferred to you, and he gave you? I was going to have you two guys, whoever had the lower score in the Master Fecta, be the winner of the Final Four Fecta for the Cliffside room at the Lodge at Gunnersville State Park for the overnight stay plus the $30 voucher for the Pinecrest room. And he said, you know what? I've had the chance to do that in the past. Give it to Smokey Mike. So congratulations on that. You'll be hooked up with a gift certificate for that deal.
Very nice. Thank you, big dog, and thank you, Dan. And the wife's going to enjoy that.
Yeah. No, you guys. Well, I assume you will too. I mean, you go with her, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know what's going to happen out there.
Yeah. Oh, I know what goes on.
I mean, you're Italian. You know that.
I have a total 100% idea as to what might happen there when you get there. I know.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. You have a good time with that. You'll probably be watching reruns of the WrestleMania. I watched some of it. I did watch some of it. I watched a lot of it on the YouTube, the highlights of it to see it. And,
So what'd you think of did The Rock bring back the old nostalgia for you?
Yeah, he's a little bulkier than I remember in the past. I was surprised. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the Undertaker was kind of cool. But there's no way that 215-pound Cody Rhodes could do anything with Roman Reigns. I mean, let's just be honest, okay? Roman Reigns is half Samoan, half Sicilian, okay? And he's 285 pounds. He would destroy that little boy. And if that was real, he would destroy. If somebody didn't write the script, he would destroy that Cody Rhodes. And I don't know what the fascination is with him. He's not any good on the mic. I don't know. I know he's Dusty Rhodes' kid. He's nowhere near what Dusty Rhodes was on the mic. I don't know what the fascination is with making him the champion. I don't get it. It won't last long.
With starting AEW and then coming back to finish his story and all that. And I mean, he does have good moments on the mic. I will say that, but he ain't no Dusty Rhodes, and hardly anybody's Dusty Rhodes.
No. All right.
Nobody could be that son of a plumber.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. All right, give me your team for the Masters.
Well, obviously, I've got to go Scheffler and Roth. So I got to figure out who I wanted as a wild card. But this guy has gotten 3 top 10s in his last 6, but he's never played at Augusta. But I'm going to go Ludwig Aberg.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. That is not a bad pick. Everybody's talking about that kid, Aberg. So, all right, so you got him. You're in.
All right. Well, thank you, big dog, and hopefully I'll be hitting it up at Cherokee Ridge here in the next couple of weeks.
Could happen. All right. Appreciate you. By the way, the first guy that got in through the text window, Chris in the Burrow, he took Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, and he took Lee Hodges, our own Lee Hodges, okay, from Huntsville. So we'll see how Lee does in this deal. He has played in 3 majors so far. He finished 55th, I think, in the PGA last year, missed the cut in the Open, missed the cut in the U.S. Open, and has not. This is Lee Hodges playing in his first Masters, so we'll definitely be pulling for him. All right, up next is the guy that gave away that spot, that Natty Danny. Natty Danny, welcome in. How are you?
Well, I'm doing quite well, and Smokey Mike, I'm glad that you're going to enjoy it with your wife, and anytime you can, that's always good. That's always good. Yeah. So congratulations. Now, and then I went to the Bubbies last night, and guys, listen to me. They've got Thom Abraham's name on a menu, for crying out loud. They named a burger after him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a good burger.
It's bacon jam burger, right?
Kimmy's Bacon Jam Burger. That bacon jam is amazing, man. I mean, did you have it, or did
no,
I think
Ginger had that.
Ginger had it.
I had the po' boy, Ginger had that, but the guy next to me had, and they're known for their catfish sandwich. And I'm going to tell you what, I wish that I got the catfish sandwich. I'm going back and getting that. And you know, when I was looking at the menu, you know, Grumpy, I could have sworn I see Wolverine Dan's peas. I could have sworn I seen it, Tom. But maybe I'm just seeing things, okay?
Maybe it was just
so. Anyway, I had to dig a little bit. You know, I like doing that.
Yeah,
so
maybe you had to write. You had to write it on the menu. You had to write on there Wolverine Dan's peas. Yeah.
Peas, that's right. Hey, listen, and your father, you better go, man. I'm telling you why.
I gotta get him. I gotta get it done.
Michigan game. I was going to take my dad. All these times I went to Lions games with my dad. Never went to a Michigan game. And sure enough, in his late 80s, it was a day before we were going to go. My dad wasn't feeling well, and he just wasn't doing well. And the doctor says, and he said, you need to come to the hospital. You got to get in the hospital. My dad said, he says, can I just go to the football game with my son? And I promise you, right after the game, we'll go to the hospital.
We'll go, yeah.
Yeah, but amazing. So it didn't happen. Okay, so I didn't go to a Michigan game with my father. So Tom, stop what you're doing. Do what you got to do, Tom. Spend the shekels. Do it now.
Yeah.
Now. I mean, no, do it yesterday. That's how urgent this is for you.
It is. No, it is. It's something I've shared so many times on the golf course with my dad, and I always enjoyed that. And that's why I play golf with my sons now when I play with them, and give them those same kind of memories. But I've gotten him to he's been to the Alabama game. He took me to Cleveland Brown games for years and years. So we went to a lot of NFL games together. It's just I promised him the Masters, and then I haven't come through, and I feel like a schmuck.
Yeah, my wife retires yesterday. I come home, Tom. She's not here. She's gone already. See what I mean? This retirement thing's working for her. So let's do the trifecta, and either Larry and I, you can just present it to us at the end of the round, okay? Because Larry
already got in. He's someplace on vacation. He got in already. Yeah.
We talked about it. So this either Larry or me. It looks almost the same, but minus one player. So I'll go with the Scotty Scheffler, Hideki Matsuyama.
Ooh.
And Brooks Koepka.
You always take Koepka, don't you? You like that guy.
No, I did take Koepka. I took Koepka because he's always good in that tournament. And it is in Matsuyama's, he's lights out. He's like fourth, maybe fourth on a money leaderboard. The guy's playing really well. He's consistent, of course. And if you don't take Scotty Scheffler in your pick, then you might as well forget it.
He's as big. And in terms of Vegas, he's the biggest favorite since Tiger, like in 2008, or 2007, whatever Tiger was at his peak. That's how big a favorite Scotty Scheffler is, and it's going to be very interesting to see with the LIV guys, the interaction with those guys, and how all of that goes as well. And people are watching these TV numbers because the PGA Tour TV numbers have been down by 20% this year. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It's been bad weather. They had to cancel the final round at Pebble Beach, which is always drives a big number. But the PGA Tour numbers are down 20%, and LIV has no numbers. I mean, nobody's watching that. Nobody knows where these guys have been.
No.
And now there's 13 guys from LIV that are playing in this tournament, and so people are going to want to see whether or not, does this drive the viewership back up? Tiger is playing. That always drives the viewership. That'll drive the viewership the first 2 days, no doubt. So we'll see, how all that, or whether or not golf fans just have fatigue and are sick and tired of the whole story between LIV and PGA.
I'm concerned about Tiger. He looked kind of worn. He looked like really he's tired.
He is worn.
Tom. He was so great for so long, and now he's not there anymore. And Tom, as an athlete. You played competitive in college, and when you walk away for something you can't do it really anymore, Tom, it's tough mentally. Every day you wake up going, oh, my God, this isn't happening to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, since he had the accident, Grizz, what year was the accident? 2020? 2019? 2020? Since he had the accident where he almost died and shattered his leg and everything else, since then he's only completed – I think they said 3 rounds of 72 holes.
February
he just doesn't play. 2021. So since the accident in 2021, he's only been able to play 72 holes like 3 times. It's just we're not right. I mean, he's 48, Really, he's a young man when you think about 48. He's not. It's not like it, but he does. You look at him, he looks like a grizzled old man out there. He looks like his father, you know. He started so young and put his body through so much at such a young age and swung so violently that, you know, he kind of tore his body up.
Well, in closing, Tom, it should have been done yesterday. It should have been done last year, year before that. But you need to get your dad and go there, Tom. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
See you.
All right. Appreciate you. Good job by Natty Danny. It will be interesting. There's 13 players from Liv, and some of these guys, they look ridiculous with their logos from whatever team that they're on. You know, Liv Golf is Team Golf, you know, and John Rahm is out there. And, you know, we want to see a TaylorMade on your hat. We want to see Callaway on your hat or PXG or whatever. You know, we want to see golf stuff on a golfer. They look ridiculous out there. They look in the apparel that they wear. It's like, you know how sometimes if you've got a logo that you want to have put on something and it's like a one-off or something like, it's like that. It's not like it's done by Titleist or Nike, you know, and you've got to, you know, and it's like it's all bunched up, you know, whoever did the embroidery. It's like they had their wife do the embroidery on a machine at home or something. And the logo's all, and you can't make it out. You don't know what the heck that thing is. Like, what is that thing on there? You know, whereas it just, I don't know. We'll see how they do. John Rahm is already pushing for 72 holes for Liv. You know, we just need to get all the best players back together. This is one of the, I think there's a chance that the numbers will be really good in as much as that for everybody who's not been watching golf, and I haven't watched a ton of golf this year, but this is going to have all the best players in the world. The 4 majors is the only time we're going to get all the best players in the world together. And at some particular point in time, when these, you know, if it were to stay the way it is, which it won't, we won't have all the best players because those guys won't qualify. I mean, guys are on exemptions now if they're previous champions and so on. But these guys have fallen so far down the money list, they're not getting in anymore based on the money list in the world rankings. And you can't give them world rankings the way they play golf. Shotgun, 54 holes. You can't compare that to what the PGA Tour does. No cut. Music blaring, wear your shorts. It's totally different. Totally different. Let's get a break in here. When we come back, throw another log on the fire. Told you it's a little bit of a potpourri show today. We'll come back with more. You do have a chance to get in. If you want in on this Master Fecta for a foursome at Cherokee Ridge, $380 value, this is the time to do it. 256-576-4977. Get you in on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
Valley Equipment Rental has grown by leaps and bounds over the past year and is adding more and more equipment to their already impressive fleet. Valley is a locally owned family equipment rental business serving the entire Tennessee Valley. They concentrate on the local contractors, building repeat business and specializing in long-term rentals for their local contractors. The benefit of long-term rental is that they stay on top of their assets. If something you own goes down in the field, you have to stop and fix it before you can finish the job. With Valley Equipment Rental, they will fix it on site site or bring you another machine while that one's being fixed. More importantly, Valley is locally owned and operated, which means when you have an issue, you can get someone on it right away, right here in the Valley. Heck, ask for Ross Roberts, the owner, if you like. Try calling one of the big box national outlets and asking for the owner. That's if you can even get through the automation. Buy local. Buy Valley Equipment Rental. Valley Equipment Rental has 2 locations, one on the North and South Parkway. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey Wes, our company Fleming Roofing and Restoration specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a 5th generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey Wes, we show up.
The Atlanta Braves are back with a loaded roster of young talent and some new faces in the A. It's going to be another wild season.
3-1 hit high in the air to deep center field. Here it comes. Home run right over the wall.
Tonight, Truist Park will be off the charts as Sean Murphy and the Braves look for an early season division win against the New York Mets. Braves radio's on the air at 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. It's going to be much warmer this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s. Unfortunately, we're going to continue to talk about the opportunity for showers and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley, so we're not going to be able to get outside and enjoy the warmer air. Some of the thunderstorms as we head into the later part of Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday evening could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. Our big concern there would be heavy rain leading to a little bit of flooding and some gusty winds. Temperatures drop into the mid-upper 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Thursday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. Phone lines open. Go ahead and jump in. 256-5764-97.7. Despite Grizz's rant to open the show, this is some sort of a phenomenon. This whole Caitlin Clark thing and the numbers, the 18 million that watched the game compared to 14 million that watched the men's game, and the different people are trying to figure out different reasons why that all happened. I think it has a lot to do with the promotion through ESPN of Caitlin Clark and so on. But the way that she's being talked about, I still don't know that she's going to be the be-all to end-all when she gets to the WNBA, that she's going to be some transitional or transformative type player and so on. But right now, the prices for the Indiana's home opener, $500 a ticket. All right, $100 a ticket just to get in the building in the upper reaches. The Aces, I don't know where they play. Who's the Aces? Las Vegas, maybe?
Vegas.
Las Vegas Aces. They've sold out their entire season.
Yeah.
I don't know what that has to do with Caitlin Clark, but they've sold out their entire season. They moved the game against Indiana, where Caitlin Clark will be playing, presumably, from 12,000-seat Michelob Ultra Arena to the Mandalay Bay, at the Mandalay Bay, to 20,000-seat T-Mobile Arena. And they've sold out their entire season. The league is looking to double its media rights. What's that mean? Go from $5 to $10? We'll see. Last year, you had 9 million people watch the women's national championship game, and the WNBA averaged 500,000 people a game watching. So just because there was 18 million people that watched that game Does that mean that we're going to have 1 million people watching? As many people that watch, I don't know, the UFL? Are we going to have that many people watching these games? I don't know that that's going to happen. And in one article, that I was reading, they talked about her being this transformative type athlete. And they mentioned the other type athletes that she would have to be considered in. And they talked about Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. And it said Danica Patrick. What did Danica Patrick ever do? Danica Patrick had one thing going for her. She was cute. I think about it. What else did Danica Patrick have going for her? She's cute. That's it. She was a rim rider in NASCAR. She always was at the back of the pack. She didn't do anything. She had one good race at Indy 500. But for the most part, she was a rim rider. I mean, Danica Patrick, you want to talk about something that was made out of nothing? Danica Patrick. Don't put Danica Patrick out there with Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan, for God's sakes. Goodness gracious. LSU Lynch is up. LSU Lynch, welcome to the show. How are you?
Son, how are you? Danica Patrick, she needs to stay in a bathing suit and a calendar in your garage. That's about it.
She's doing car insurance commercials on local TV, like very local TV. Like it's like 54.6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what, the General? Film the General or something like that?
Well, that's a national commercial, though.
No, it's like Car Shield, but I forgot what it's called.
Right, but it's a national commercial. Yeah, but yeah.
All right, let's do this trifecta here.
All right, give me your 3-man team for the Masters.
Give me Scheffler, Brooks, Victor Hovland.
Hovland. That's a good call.
And
Brooks.
other than that, we ready to go to the Havoc game tonight, son. We are ready. We can't wait.
You'll be one of 800. You'll be one of 800 with a seat, apparently.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing, too. I went and got I picked up my parking today. If you bought your parking down at the VBC, you actually get to park in the front parking lot at the Iceplex. So anybody that didn't get the parking ticket from the office down there, they're going to put you in the back.
Was the game ticket the same price?
No, we paid like $10 a piece, dude. We got upper bleachers, so we'll be able to see everything. So I'm happy that we just got in, bro. So.
I'm sure at 800 people that there's probably 800. There's probably not. I'm sure there's not a bad seat in the house. I mean, it's ridiculous.
No, it's
so
not.
Small.
Like I said, my kids, they grew up playing hockey down there. So anyway, I'll let you go. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the day.
This one's going to remind me. This Master Effect is going to remind me of back in the heyday of Tiger, where I would just tell people, "Give me the 2 guys you're putting with Tiger." That's how it is with Scotty Scheffler. It's going to be like that with Scotty Scheffler. Everybody's going to put Scotty Scheffler. If Scotty Scheffler blows this and doesn't make the cut or something, you watch. Everybody, you lose automatically. Your 3 guys got to make the cut, obviously. This par 3 contest is so cute with the little kids. So many little kids out there, wives and girlfriends caddying. Then you got some of them with their family hitting shots, hitting T-balls and things like that. Remember when Jack Nicklaus's nephew made a hole-in-one? He was I
don't even watch golf, and I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He was in the par 3 contest. He was 15 years old. He made a hole-in-one.
Yeah.
Redneck Romeo is up. Romeo, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. It's outstanding hump day.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. Hey, I got you some golfers.
All right, give me your team.
I want Nick Dunlap.
Okay.
I want Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay.
And throw me Jason Day in there for namesake.
Wow. And Jason Day.
Yep.
All right. If you win, this is going to be outstanding.
Think I'll get 68 on each golfer?
That'd be, you need 468s on each golfer, but that would be a pretty impressive team right there. That's pretty random.
Yeah. All right. You have a good one today.
All right. Appreciate you. Get Bama Bud in. Bama Bud, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, Tom. Doing great, man.
So you want a team in this deal? All right. Give me your 3-man team for the Masters.
All right, we'll go with John Rahm, Nick Dunlap, and a real long shot, Bubba Watson.
Wow, Bubba Watson. So that's the second in a row to take Dunlap. What are we hearing about Dunlap that everybody's excited about Dunlap?
I don't know. I just like him.
Okay.
I took golf lessons from his granddad back years ago.
Really?
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck with that team, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for getting in.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
It's a good job by him. All right. Coming up in hour number 2, we're going to get things started. We're going to talk to our friend Drew McNutt about the annual event that is coming up at Gunnersville next week. No, wait a minute. In 2 weeks? In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. I'll be doing the show down there on Friday the 19th, and then fishing in their tournament on the 20th. Is that next week? Next Friday's the 19th? Okay. Next week. So we'll talk about the tournament. 200 boat deal to benefit the Children's Hospital in Birmingham. Randy Howell and I will be handling the weigh-in. We'll talk about that next. And then Josh Caray also in hour number 2 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. This just in. Arkansas has officially hired John Calipari as its men's basketball coach. 5-year deal, base annual salary, $7 million. NBA, Bucks got the best-case scenario regarding star Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's avoided a serious Achilles injury. Sources told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski his left Achilles tendon fully intact. His return to play depends on how quickly his calf strain heals. Bucks up a game on the Knicks for the 2 seed in the East. From ESPN's Adam Schefter, Jags pass rusher Josh Allen agreed on a 5-year, $150 million contract, $88 million guaranteed. NFL announced the Packers will open the 2024 season against the Eagles in Brazil Friday, September 6th. The Orioles calling up the number 1 prospect in baseball. Jackson Holliday, reports ESPN's Jeff Passan. He's expected to join Baltimore in Boston tonight.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Make your taste buds come alive with a visit to Huntsville's newest taste sensation, Salt Factory Pub at Mid-City, offering a creative menu featuring a variety of classic comfort foods with international influences. Salt Factory Pub is the perfect destination for everyone. Salt Factory Pub also has an unbeatable beer list of more than 50 different draft and bottled brews. Just a short walk from the Orion Amphitheater, Salt Factory Pub is the perfect spot for great food in an inviting and casual atmosphere. Find out more online at salthuntsville.com.
Hi folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. It's going to be much warmer this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s. Unfortunately, we're going to continue to talk about the opportunity for showers and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley, so we're not going to be able to get outside and enjoy the warmer air. Some of the thunderstorms as we head into the later part of Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday evening could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. Our big concern there would be heavy rain leading to a little bit of flooding and some gusty winds. Temperatures drop into the mid-upper 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Thursday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Sports Talk 24/7 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
The opinions of Thom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to move more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show brought to you by our good friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Whether you're in Alabama, Tennessee, or Florida, North Alabama Mortgage has you covered for all your mortgage needs. And if you're looking at home improvements, now is the time to use your home equity, which is at an all-time high, to get those home improvements done. And yes, the rates are higher than they were. They're lower than they were more recently, and they're continuing to come down. You can always refi again later, but use that equity in the home right now. And if you're thinking about a new home purchase, you know, when those rates drop to their whenever they bottom out, those home prices always go up. So buy now, get the best price, and then refi when the rates drop. Brian Hammaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage will help you out with that. Just go to NorthAlabamaMortgage.com and learn more about it. All right, it's time now to learn a little bit more about the Castin and Ketchen tournament that is coming up at Gunnersville Lake a week from Saturday, presented by Captain D's and Harbin Automotive. And joining us now, Drew McNutt from the Castin and Ketchen tournament. Drew, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great, Tom. How you doing?
I am fantastic. We've been having this conversation now for a while. What is this, the 7th, 8th tournament?
This is the 9th year, believe it or not. Yes, wow. Yes. It happens quickly, and, we're just so excited about having it 9 years here in Scottsboro and Lake Gunnersville and everything that all the great things that come out of it, and obviously working towards finding cures and research for congenital heart disease.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. But, me, I always have suggestions. I have one for 10th anniversary. Maybe for the 10th anniversary show, maybe we make it a 2-day tournament. What do you think about that? No?
Well, that is a possibility, and I mean, that I don't have a problem with that. Hey, the more days we can be able to talk about congenital heart disease and children's Alabama and be on Lake Gunnersville, one of the best lakes in the world, and be able to do that and see the great people and all the great sponsors that support us. I mean, I'm all for that.
What is the money that has now been raised? I know over $1 million, but what's the total that we're up to for the Pediatric and Congenital Heart Center of Alabama?
Yeah, so $1.1 million is the grand total. That's not counting this year, and still calculating some checks coming in, and I believe this will be the highest year that we've had in a single year, and I believe we will break $200,000 just this year in 2024.
That is absolutely amazing, to get that kind of support from the community. And this is one of those deals that people have put on their calendar, right? I mean, you're getting a lot of the same people coming back every year for it. I know for me, this will be my 6th or 7th one. And it just seems to be, okay, I know sometime late in April, they're going to have the Castin and Ketchin event at Guntersville.
That's right. And we take great pride in that. We hope that we run a first-class event and give people a reason to come back and fish it again and just have a great experience from starting with the dinner on Friday night to all the way through Saturday. And we have a lot of returners that come back each year with us, and we can't thank them enough for that. And actually, I was looking at some new names just a second ago on our roster for this year, and we actually have a boat from Missouri that's signed up. We have Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri, Kentucky. So we've got a lot of representation, and I think people are really hearing the word and hearing about what we're doing here on Lake Guntersville and want to be a part of it.
Talk about, I know you follow the money as well and are involved in what it is used for. Talk about some of the uses so far for this $1 million plus that has been raised for the Heart Center of Alabama.
Right. Some amazing research is happening, and one of those projects is called the Nephron Project that we can talk about. And with that, when a child is on ECMO, which is life support, there's some harmful effects that come off that potentially to your kidneys. And so one of the research projects has been to study the effects of ECMO and on a child's kidneys while they have to be on that to let their heart and their lungs rest. While they recover after heart surgery if needed. So that research actually has been published. It's gone not only nationwide, but it's actually been worldwide and has already helped save hundreds of children's lives that were born with congenital heart disease around the world. So that is one thing that we're very proud of. And it started with a little bitty fishing tournament here in Scottsboro, Alabama, Lake Guntersville. All the funds go to Children's of Alabama and the brilliant women and men at Children's of Alabama that have done the research and conducted that and put the effort and time into it has led to a worldwide impact, and that continues to happen. There's obviously supplies, there's obviously machinery that has been purchased. I know one of the pieces of machinery that's been purchased is several for the unit is when the outlying effect of a child before they go into cardiac arrest, it actually sees those signs ahead of time. So it doesn't get to that point, and then the medical staff can intervene before that even happens. So there's just a lot of incredible things that are happening, and a lot of things that we can't talk about yet that's happening. And just know that that money that goes to the hospital, 100% of it, is making a huge impact for potentially somebody's child down the road or grandchild down the road.
Yeah, Drew McNutt with us from the Castin and Ketchin Charity Bass Tournament. Now, this thing is already sold out, which is amazing, 10 days out, and you've reached a limit of 200 boats in the tournament. So, I mean, that just goes to show how big a deal it is, and so that part of it is sold out. But there's a lot going on Saturday, right, where folks can come down, they can watch the weigh-in, they can see all the fish coming in, and so on. Plus, there's all kinds of vendors and food, and just talk about what folks can do and how they can contribute if they're not a fisherman or they're not fishing in this event, how they can contribute to help the cause.
Right. So you mentioned being capped out at 200 boats. We did reach that this morning. So we are officially full in that regard. But if you didn't get in this year, we hope that you will fish with us next year. But there's multiple ways for people to support and to have fun, and that's what we want to do. We want to give back to all the people that support us. And so starting on Saturday at 12, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama is sponsoring our Kids Fun Zone. So we'll have inflatables, we have catfish tanks for kids, and it really turns into adults too because they have fun doing it too, fishing out of it there on site. We have face painting, balloon making. We have food trucks there. Of course, you have Victory Sportsman grill and bait tackle store that's right there at Goose Pond that has some amazing food as well. So we have a little bit of something for everybody to do. That's from 12 to 2. Weigh-in will begin at 2 o'clock. The last flight is due in at 3:45. So we just encourage you to come out there and support in that regard. And then also, too, if you can't do that and you can't make it and you can't fish, or maybe you don't like to fish, you can support us online. The online giving tool is open 24/7, 365 days a year at castingandcatching.org. Can lead you right there if you wanted to do that as well.
And I understand that the weigh-in will be emceed by one of the biggest names in all of professional fishing, and 2014 Bassmaster Classic champion Randy Howell will be there as well, right?
Right. Yeah, it's great to have Randy back.
I got that backwards.
Well, you said the biggest name in fishing, that's Thom Abraham. And so, biggest name in fishing and on the radio, Thom Abraham. But we're also tickled to have Randy Howell back with us this year. It's been several years since he has not been able to do that through the schedule conflicts. But Randy has been a huge supporter of us since day one, and great family friends, he and Robin. And we're just so excited to see them back this year and have you guys on stage and weighing in some big bags. I mean, I was floored last year, 30 pounds, 11 ounces, won our tournament.
I remember thinking that something was wrong with the scale. I remember double taking it, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? 30 pounds? And I was like, I thought we had to like reweigh it or something. It was crazy.
Well, I did. I pulled him back off and reweighed him again, and it was dead on. And wow, I mean, it was just it was really a phenomenal bag of fish. And those guys, they're not guides on the lake. They don't spend a lot of time on the lake. They were just having fun, a couple of buddies, and they found the right school of fish, and it paid off for them, literally.
Yeah, Randy is great people. There's no doubt about it. And he'll be his son, Laker Howell, is on his way to becoming an Elite Series pro as well. He's fishing on the open circuit now and fishing some other tournaments, but his goal is to become an elite. And Randy will be most likely returning to the Elite Series next year. And he is looking forward to potentially having that scenario where a father and son can fish the Classic together. It's only happened a few times in the past, but they would love to be able to do that. They're just great people. So it's going to be an honor for me to be sharing the stage with Randy Howell. There's no doubt about it. But now, so would Randy weigh my fish, or would I weigh Randy's fish? And who hands me the check at the end of the thing? I mean, does he hand it to me, or do you hand it, or do I have to introduce myself as the winner of the tournament when that happens? I mean, how does this work?
Hey, when you bring in 35 pounds, you can do whatever you want to do. And then, we have the Happy Gilmore check, the big check. So we hand it off. I mean, it's anybody's game at that point. But no, man, we're so excited. I'm just so excited with where it's come from, where this tournament has started. Our original goal, I think we've said before multiple times, our original goal was $10,000 just straight. And then Captain D's and Robbie Copenhaver came on as a title sponsor, $10,000 the first year, and everything has just gone through the roof since then. And North Alabama Mortgage, you mentioned, coming into the lead here is sponsoring that, and also sponsoring our tournament. And we, it's people that believe in what we're doing and making sure that we have a first class event. But the end game is that 100% of that money goes directly to the Pediatric Congenital Heart Center at Children's of Alabama to make an impact on congenital heart disease.
Yeah, that is incredible. And it is because of these great sponsors that you're able to have, $45,000 in money that will be paid out, and then other prizes as well throughout the tournament. And, you'll pay all the way down to 60th place, something like that, which is just absolutely tremendous. So you guys have done a tremendous job with this. Now, finally, tell what is the why behind Drew McNutt getting involved in something like this for this particular benefit to benefit the Children's of Alabama and the Pediatric and Congenital Heart Center of Alabama. Just talk a moment about the 4 families that were affected by that and how you guys decided to make this happen.
Yeah, so our why is our 4 sons through the 4 families that were born with congenital heart disease, each of them with a different heart defect, but a lot of the same stories going into it. You have Lee Bradford and Jessica, whose son Tucker was born with congenital heart disease, and just how all this started. Our son Andrew was born with CHD, truncus arteriosus, in 2014, and Tucker was born about the October after him. And so, and I know we say this all the time, but it's the truth. We're sitting in the hospital. Tucker's undergoing an open heart surgery. Andrew's undergoing a cath in the cath lab. And we're just sitting there, how do we give back to these amazing doctors, surgeons, nurses, and facility that's done so much for us and for our children? And Lee just right off hand says, let's do a fishing tournament. And it just sparked it. And we enjoy fishing, love the outdoors, live on Lake Guntersville. It just made sense. And then from there, the Simpsons and the Strouds, Jason and Lacey Simpson, they're now in Birmingham. We're in Huntsville with their son Brody. And then Heather and Justin Stroud in Huntsville with their son William. We lost William at a very early age. And if anybody knows anything about the part of the tournament, we don't give a true boat out to boat number one. So boat number one is always William Franklin Stroud and always will be. And so that's our why. Our why is the fact that CHD affects 1 in 100 children. It's the greatest amount of kids that are affected by any kind of disease at birth. And a lot of times it gets overshadowed. We hear about a lot of different ailments and sicknesses and things, and CHD just doesn't get the exposure that some of these do. And so we're trying to change that every step of the way, every day that we try to make it better. We find ways with research and money to try to make that happen. And so we just continue. We want people to understand that hopefully you never have to experience Children's of Alabama, but if you do, then if it's your son or daughter or grandchild, whatever it may be, you know that you are in the best hands possible at Children's of Alabama in Birmingham and the Pediatric and General Heart Center, and they will take great care of you because it's an absolutely first-class facility that absolutely will take care of any kind of ailments, CHD, that your child may be born with.
Well, God bless you and your whole team for the work you do. This is tiring. This is a full-time job, and this is not what Drew McNutt does full-time, but he does this on top of everything that he does, the school systems down there in Marshall County and the work that he does, and it's just tremendous. And to have people like you and the rest of the volunteers to make this happen, we're all blessed by it. That is for sure. And Drew, I will be doing the show next Friday from down there from the back patio. It's always one of my favorite shows of the year, overlooking Guntersville Lake there from the back patio at Goose Pond Colony. And folks can come on by, say hello. Those of you that down that way that don't get to see us often, maybe come on by and say hello. And Drew, I will see you then. I'll be fishing before the show. And then I'll be fishing after the show, all right? Because I got to find something. I got to find a starting spot because it would take me all summer to catch 35 pounds, all right? So I'm not going to go catch 35 pounds on Saturday, but I'd like to find a couple of places to get going. So we'll do all of that on Friday. But appreciate you as always, man, and keep up the great work.
We appreciate everything you do for us, Tom, and we can't do this without our team and our families and everything that goes into it. It's fully a team effort. From sponsors, families, all the way to the bottom, and we're looking so forward to it. And we will see you out there next Friday as we're setting up and as you're fishing, and catch you on the radio. And thank you for your time and your commitment to what we do and helping us spread the word.
All right, that's Drew McNutt. Thanks, Drew.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm looking at my weather app right now. That's this Saturday, 76 and sunny. What about next Saturday? Well, 72 with a slight chance of rain on Friday. Oh, perfect fishing weather. I don't know what Saturday looks like. My weather app doesn't go out that far. All right. It's a really cool thing to do. And I encourage you folks, look, the tournament sold out at 200 boats. When I booked Drew, I didn't think it would be sold out already. But it's sold out at 200 boats. But it's a great thing to come out to and check out the weigh-in. Randy Hall and I will have a great time on stage entertaining the folks there at the weigh-in. There'll be hundreds of people there for the weigh-in, but there's kids, bounce houses, all that stuff going on, food. And it's just it's like a festival. It's like an outdoor expo, if you will. And everything is done first rate. And have Randy, and to share the stage with Randy Howell. I mean, this is a Bassmaster Classic champion here. We're talking about the Super Bowl of bass fishing that he won in 2014. And so Randy and I will have a good time doing the weigh-in as well. All right, we'll get a break in here. When we come back, let's talk some hardball. We'll do it with Josh Caray and Caray's Corner. That's coming up next right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Unlike other credit cards that decline sports betting transactions or treat them as a cash advance, the G-Bank Visa Signature Card can load directly to your favorite sportsbook apps. G.bank/VSiN.
Baseball today, the minus 165 Braves host the plus 140 Mets. Andrew Winans tagged as the starting pitcher. He'll face Jose Quintana. NBA last night, double overtime. The Heat beat the Hawks 117-111. They blew a chance to pull even with the Bulls after they lost 128-117 at home against the Knicks. Chicago holds the 9th playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. The Hawks are just a game behind them. Atlanta's home tonight, hosting the Charlotte Hornets. The Hawks a 10.5-point favorite, over-under on the money line, Charlotte plus 425. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flosa Premier. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flo tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flo, think fun for everyone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. It's going to be much warmer this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s. Unfortunately, we're going to continue to talk about the opportunity for showers and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley, so we're not going to be able to get outside and enjoy the warmer air. Some of the thunderstorms as we head into the later part of Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday evening could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. Our big concern there would be heavy rain leading to a little bit of flooding and some gusty winds. Temperatures drop into the mid-upper 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Thursday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber, and the Nuke. They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke.
And welcome back. Thom Abraham Show. Segment of the show brought to you by our friends at Valley Equipment Rental. With their 2 locations, Valley Equipment Rental can take care of all of your equipment needs. They're out there on the North Memorial Parkway. They have got the excavators. They got more mini excavators than anybody else. But they've got the big excavators as well. They got the dozers. They've got the skid steers. They have got it all at Valley Equipment Rental. Lifts are very important as well. We've used their lifts in our business as well and had great success with it. You can check it all out at Valley Equipment Rental. Smaller tools, hand tools, you never know what you need. They've got it at Valley Equipment Rental. And if they needed a blower to try and dry off the field down there at Toyota Field, they could get that at Valley Equipment Rental as well. Luckily, that field drains very, very well. Couldn't do anything about it yesterday with the rain, constant rain coming in. But if this rain holds off, we might finally get our home opener in tonight. We'll just have to wait and see if that happens. And if it does happen, Josh Caray will be on the call over at our sister station, Talk Radio WZZN at 97.7-2. And he joins us now on a Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Josh, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good, Tom. Yeah, you're right. If we can, the forecast looks like it's improving a little bit, but, we'll just keep our fingers and toes crossed because we'd really like to get this one in tonight. But, I just want to take a moment and say thank you so much to all the folks who came out last night, hoping for a home opener. We were all hoping it would get in, but just wasn't meant to be. So we'll hopefully get it done tonight.
So our last night's people who were holding tickets for last night's game good tonight, or is tonight strictly the people who have the Wednesday tickets?
No, you can use your ticket and exchange it for a ticket of the same or lesser value from now until the end of the season based upon availability. So if you want to come out tonight, you can. If you want to come out next homestand or 2 homestands from now, you can as well. You just bring up your ticket to the window and we'll take care of you.
Will the folks who come out tonight get that sweet-looking Trash Panda magnet schedule to put on the refrigerator that they didn't get last night? So will they get that? And if they're in the first 1,500, they get the Ben Joyce bobblehead. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. The first 1,500 are for the Ben Joyce bobblehead. I don't believe we're doing anything else with the magnet schedules, at least for right now. It wouldn't surprise me if we use it at some other point, either later in this homestand or maybe the next one. Okay. I haven't talked to my marketing folks about that, but obviously the weather kept a lot of people from coming to the ballpark, so I wouldn't be surprised if we find another way to get all that inventory out of there.
Yeah, because people want to get their magnet schedules early as possible because you want to have it on there so you can get up.
It's always one of the most popular giveaways. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, those things are sweet. They were supposed to do them last night, obviously, and but I guess you had people in the building, right? I guess the gates were open, and then the game was postponed. That's the kind of the way that worked, right?
Every time we schedule a game, we make every effort possible to play it. And if you had told me at 4:30 that we would be rained out, I wouldn't have believed you because the weather was getting better, and we thought there might be a chance to start the game. We thought we would be delayed, but maybe started a little later. But the weather just took the turn for the worse. And you know as well as I do, Tom, that the weather around here is so unpredictable. Last week we thought we were going to get tornadoes and hail and all that stuff, and we wound up getting a few raindrops. So you never know, and we were disappointed. We never want to see any game get rained out, especially opening night, but you can't control the weather. And, again, the folks who came out, we appreciate it, and we will promise them a game somewhere down the line when they bring their ticket back to the window.
Josh Caray with us. He is the voice of the Trash Pandas. We heard him over the weekend from up there in Kodak, Tennessee. Is it Kodak or Kodiak? I thought it was Kodiak, but Kodak, Tennessee. Kodak. Is that right?
Yeah,
up there with Yeah, no eye. All right, so the Tennessee Smokies and the Trash Pandas getting things started. And after the Trash Pandas dropped the first two, they won the getaway game. How important is that, getting that first win? Just a sigh and just you don't want to get swept, in the first series on the road. But you get that win, you get to come home, makes that ride a little bit shorter. And I would imagine, is something that, okay, these are a lot of young guys and so on, but you want to get that out of the way.
Well, yeah, especially knowing the fact you could have, maybe should have won the first game. You got your hat handed to you a little bit in game two, and that's okay. You're going to get a few of those. It's not just that they won game three, but they beat a major leaguer. I mean, they beat Jamison Tyon of the Chicago Cubs. And granted, he was just trying to get some work in, but still, anytime you beat a MLBer, it's a little feather in your cap. And not only do you get that game, but now you got a 3-0 Birmingham team coming in, so they're playing really well right now. If you leave Kodak 0-3, you're a little nervous. So getting that first win out of the way, it's big monkey off of everyone's back, and now you can focus on the rest of your season and the daily grind, which is what those guys are used to.
Now, obviously, you play Birmingham a number of times throughout the season, so there's really no need to make up that game, this week. But we did see the announcement originally that the announcement will be coming within the next 48 hours. It sounds like you know when it's going to be.
It will be. We'll have a final decision. It's going to be sometime this week. And the reason
will be
why,
this week.
Tom,
Okay.
is because we have split schedules or split seasons. And so this is actually the only time during the first half of the season that the Barons are in town.
What?
So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're here for 1 week. We go to their place, I think, twice before the end of the first half. So, yeah, if we're going to get all the games, then we're going to have to do them this week. So it definitely won't be tonight. I don't think it'll be tomorrow, but we should know something here very soon. And, Garrett and the powers will have a final decision at that point.
Now, is everybody playing everybody now? Because I know there was a point in time where we didn't have that, which I didn't understand. That the league wasn't that big that everybody didn't play everybody. But will the Trash Pandas see everybody in the league now this year?
Oh yeah. The only year that didn't happen, Tom, was 2021, and I think that was a COVID thing. We wound up not playing the Mississippi Braves, which was a real shame. But yeah, we go everywhere, and everyone comes to us. So we're going to see the Braves, the Biscuits, the Blue Wahoos. We'll see. What's the other team in the South? The Shuckers. So we'll see everyone, and we'll go to each team's stadium as well. So that won't be a problem. If you're a fan of any of those ball clubs, and their affiliates, you'll get a chance to take a look at them.
Yeah, we can't forget about the Shuckers now, because those are the former Stars, and I always say that's when, if you guys are ever going to wear the throwback Star jerseys like you have in the past, that's the night to wear it. Do it against the Shuckers and troll them a little bit at some particular point in time. That's what I think. Josh Caray with us here. All right, Josh, to the majors. Let's start with the big club with the Angels. They got off to a pretty hot start, and Mike Trout with 5 home runs already to start the season. A lot of people think that Mike Trout is not promoted as much as he should be, and I get that. Maybe part of that's because it's Los Angeles and it's not the Dodgers in LA, but he's off to a quick start with the 5 home runs to lead the major leagues. The Angels have won 6 of their first 11 games here, and just talk a little bit about the big club, and the start that they're getting and the contributions they're getting from former Trash Pandas.
Yeah, we kind of knew going into this season it'd be a difficult journey for them, right? I mean, you lose Shohei. There weren't a ton of there weren't a ton of big additions made to the major league club, but that team is going to go as their young guys go. Trout's going to be there, but can Logan O'Hoppe, Zach Neto, Reed Detmer, all former Trash Pandas, can those guys step up and live up to their potential? If they do, and if all those guys do click, if you will, they have a chance to be a pretty good team, because the AL West, it's not a great division right now. You got the Rangers. The Astros are off to a bad start. The Mariners are hit and miss. The A's are terrible. So you've got some wiggle room in that division, and with 6 playoff teams per league, you may be able to make a run. Now, I'm not saying the Angels are ready for that just yet, but I think they're going to be better than a lot of people think. They've got a very good manager, a very pro-player manager, in Ron Washington, who's got a whole new set of ideas, and he's got those guys behind him right now. I think they have a chance to be a real fun team to watch. Again, I'm not saying they'll make the playoffs, but I think they have a chance to be pretty darn good. Certainly better than I think a lot of people expect.
I mean, all the attention was Shohei Ohtani, but sometimes you move a piece like that, or you lose a guy like that. In this particular case, it's just a rotten shame that the Angels weren't able to get anything, in return and trade him. I know they thought they were going to make a run, which seemed very unlikely last year. The last 20 games or so was so difficult for them in their schedule. But having said that, sometimes when a guy like that, he kind of sucks all the air out of the room and the rest of the team doesn't perform, and you almost look at this group now, and maybe there is a little bit more of a sense of ownership that it's not just Shohei and Mike Trout, that this is a more of a team effort, and you just never know how a team is going to react. It's not tennis, it's not golf, it's baseball, and it takes the whole team.
It's the whole team, and I think some guys tend to work better under the radar, right? Like Logan O'Hoppe is a leader, but Zach Neto is a guy who, he doesn't really need a lot of media attention. Reed Detmers does not seek the media attention. Patrick Sandoval is one of those guys who just kind of goes about his business. They have a lot of guys who are like that, and I think having the cameras off them for a little while might actually do them some good. And it's, again, young ball club. The last thing they need is all the media hounds of Los Angeles, breathing down their throat. I think now that the attention is off them somewhat, they can really focus on their craft, and I think it's only going to help them long term and be a better ball club.
Staying in the American League, there's always some surprises early, and then things kind of settle out. I mean, seeing the Houston Astros at 4-8 is a surprise, but of course, a lot of that has to do with getting swept in a 4-game series against the Yankees to open the season. And for some reason, they have struggled at home. I mean, I think that at one point they had lost like 11 straight home games. But you're right now that West is all kind of jumbled up, and nobody is running away and hiding with it. In the AL Central, the Guardians at 8-3, that's got to be a little bit of a surprise, but maybe even a bigger surprise. The Minnesota Twins at 3-6. I think there were some higher expectations for them, but we're 2 weeks in now, and man, I hate for the folks that are fans of teams like the White Sox that are 2-9, or the Marlins who are 1-11. 2 weeks into the baseball season, and you feel like you're done. You're going to spend the whole rest of the season trying to get back to 500 when Marlins are 7 games behind the Braves, and we're 2 weeks in. This is crazy.
Yeah, and it's really a shame because I really liked what Kim Nidge did last year with them, and as soon as she left, you kind of saw the writing on the wall, how things were going to go there. They have so much talent, and yet they just never seem to put it together. You look at the White Sox, I really feel bad for them just because it's going to be a minute with them because their farm system was really depleted a couple of years ago. We're seeing the Barons come to town this week. This is the first year they've been decent in quite a while, but their Charlotte team in AAA is not very good. That team is very much in a rebuild situation. And what happens is it reminds you of the Braves of the late 80s, right? You get a week into the season or 2 weeks into the season, and you realize it's going to be a long summer, and you don't really have anything to cheer for, and it's hard for fans to come out to the ballpark and support a product like that. But the good news for them is you still have a long way to go. You can get better and hopefully find your way back to respectability by Memorial Day.
Yeah, and speaking of the Braves, they've won 7 of their first 10 games, just doing Braves things. I mean, out there leading the National League East once again, and they're the only team in the East that are over 500. And, regardless of some of the guys that they've lost in the rotation right now and the issues with Spencer Strider, and we don't know how, scary that might be. And we've seen some guys get knocked around a little bit. Max Fried got knocked around a little bit, but still, they win these games. They're doing it with their bats. And, in Matt Olson, they may have the most underrated player in all of baseball in Matt. I still say that when we're 4 years or so removed from the Matt Olson for Freddie Freeman, which was a trade for all intents and purposes, you lost one and gained the other, people are going to say, you know what? It was good on the Braves to get Matt Olson, as Freddie Freeman ages.
As he ages, and here's the thing, he's still got another 8 to 10 years of quality play left in him. So this is a great ROI, as they like to call it, return on investment. The Braves will be fine, all right? The biggest question has always been the starting pitching. Can that hold up? If there's one bugaboo about them, it's that they've fallen behind a lot in these games. That series against Arizona, they probably should have lost 2 or 3. To their credit, the bats continue to grind, and they found a way to come back and win. What you're concerned about, though, is that innings 1 through 5, 1 through 6, that's right now a bit of a struggle. And it might not hurt you right now. It'll hurt you in October. So they've got 6 months to figure that out. The East is not as good as it's been in years past. It's pretty much Braves, Phillies right now. I think we all know that. And so the Braves will be fine in terms of the regular season. They got 162 games to put this all together. But if the news is bad on Spencer Strider, you look at the rest of that rotation, there are definitely some question marks, and it's something that Alex Anthopoulos will continue to look at as they get closer to the trade deadline.
And finally, the Yankees. Of course, I watch them every night as well, and they're off to a 10-2 start to start the season. And there's just this good vibe, with that group of guys. And Alex Verdugo coming in, and he has kind of brought a little bit of that lighthearted mentality from the Red Sox. They got this big dog thing going on where they're barking at each other in the dugout and everything else. And Juan Soto. Goodness gracious almighty. I mean, just pay the guy already. Figure out a way to get that deal done. And I hate it. You got Scott Boras, and he's going to maximize that kid's deal, and we get all of that. But at some point in time, a player has to make a decision as to is $450 million that different than $400 million if you're playing someplace where you're soaking up all of the payroll and you can't win? Or do you want to be like with the Braves, where you've got all of these guys together that are going to be together for years, that they have a chance every single year to be a World Series champion? That's what that kid's going to have to decide. How much is enough, to stay with a team like that? But man, they have been fun to watch here in the early going, as well.
Yeah, and I got to think there's a little chip on their shoulder, right? Like they missed the playoffs last year, and now when you look at baseball, everyone's talking Braves, Dodgers. No one's really talking about anyone from the American League. And so if you're the Yankees and you have the Yankee pride and all that stuff, you're kind of looking around thinking, man, we're being overlooked. And you look at the East again. The East, AL East, I think, is pretty good. I don't think the Blue Jays will be as good as people thought, but, the Orioles are going to be fine. And with that said, what I'm saying is the Yankees could be the team that very well represents the American League come World Series time. And I think they want to make their presence known that, listen, they're not going to be a pushover. It's not just going to come out of the National League this year. And so when you play with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder and you add an all-world talent like a Juan Soto, that bodes well for that franchise. And they've got a little something to prove, which is something they haven't really been able to say in recent years. Yeah,
no doubt about it. The last thing is the injuries to the pitchers that we're seeing. This is all the talk right now, is all these elbow injuries. It's amazing when you look at the list of pitchers that aren't able to perform right now due to injury. And the MLBPA, I mean, come on. Really, it's the pitch clock? Are you telling me if the kid stands on the mound for an extra 3 seconds that he's not going to be blowing his elbow out? I mean, I look at the fact that nobody pitches him. Everybody's just trying to throw as hard as they can because they're going out there for 5 innings. That's considered a quality start. And everybody wants to throw 100. And there is this talk about how the ball has changed. 8 or 9 years ago when they changed the ball itself a little bit, and it seems to be more conducive to just throwing hard as to throwing pitches that move. I think those things all play a bigger role than something like the pitch clock. What's your thought?
Well, I agree with you from the standpoint of when you saw pitchers going 7, 8 innings, this wasn't as much of an issue, and it's because the arms were conditioned more. It's not about how hard you throw. You can throw 102 miles an hour. If the ball's moving straight, it's going to get hit. It's the conditioning, and can you keep up the repetition of pitch after pitch after pitch over 30, 35 starts a season? When your guys are only going 5 innings a ball game, well, the arm is not conditioned to take on the wear and tear of a 10 to 15-year career. And that's why a lot of guys are getting – it has nothing to do with the pitch clock. It's that I don't think a lot of the arms are conditioned to handle the workload that's being demanded of them, whether that's being when it comes to throwing harder or not. So
yeah.
I think to me, that's the biggest issue. If we would condition these guys to go 7-8 innings, there wouldn't be as much wear and tear. I'll just give you a quick story, Tom. I remember talking to John Smoltz one time. This was many years ago, and when he was 15 years old, he would go out to the bullpens and throw bullpens. He wasn't throwing a curveball or anything. It was just fastball after fastball after fastball until he wore his shoulder out. But what he was doing was he was stretching out his arms, stretching out his elbows, stretching out his shoulder. Now, he still wound up with a significant injury in his career, but he went 20 years because of all that work that started when he was in his middle teens. So it's something that we need to continue to teach these guys, and it's just not being taught right now.
No, it's not being taught right now. And I'm looking at Greg Maddux and his innings pitched in his career, one of the great pitchers of all time, from 1989 to 1998, let's say. All right, 11 year stretch there, right? 249, 238, 237, 263, 268, 267, 209, 202, 245, 232, 251. That's the kind of innings. A guy gets to 190 innings pitched in a season, they shut him down. I mean, it's just it's a nightmare. And Greg Maddux didn't have elbow issues, right? I mean, you look at how these guys, they were pitchers. Greg Maddux would strike you out with an 88-mile-an-hour pitch. Everything didn't have to be 98 and so on. Move the ball in, move the ball out. It was pitching instead of throwing. And, Bert Blyleven, who was a friend of mine from Florida, we played golf together down there and used to come on a show all the time when he was still working for the Twins. Bert Blyleven threw 347 innings. And he had one of the greatest curveballs in baseball. And but he was conditioned, like you say, and he was also willing to throw pitches that were, he knew he was going to go 7 or 8 innings. And so he paced himself and didn't try to, throw his arm out.
You're a big football guy, Tom, so let me use this as an example. If you give the ball to a running back and he cuts back and he goes 100 yards for a touchdown, that's great. But if you ask him to do that 35 times over the course of a football game and he's not conditioned for it, he's not going to be a very effective rusher, is he? Right. So it's the same concept. You can be a great basketball player and you can put 10 points on the board within 2 minutes, but if you're not conditioned for it, you're going to start missing shots late in the first half. So we can talk about how talented a guy is until we're blue in the face. If he's not conditioned for success, he's not going to be successful.
Always a pleasure. Great stuff. We hope to be hearing you tonight. By the way, tomorrow night's game will be both on the Zone and on Talk Radio, so we're excited for that as well. And you can hear Josh Caray call the game against the Birmingham Barons as the Trash Pandas get this homestand started. Josh, as always, appreciate you.
All right, Tom. Look forward to it. See ya.
All right. Thank you. The reason we can do tomorrow is that we've got a lot of baseball tomorrow for you because we got the Mets and the Braves tomorrow with a midday game. So no Thom Abraham show tomorrow. Mets and Braves midday game. I'll be stuck watching the Masters all day while I get my work done here in the office, and probably have the fishing tournament on too. I got to be honest with you. I got to be honest with you. It's not women's basketball. But my passion is professional fishing as well, and the boys are at the Elite Series is at the Harris Chain, someplace I'm very familiar with, the Harris Chain in Central Florida this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You will see it on FS1 on Saturday and Sunday mornings, and I will have one TV in the studio on the fishing tournament and one TV on the Masters. It's just one of them weeks we're going to have to do that this week to kind of pay attention to everything that is going on. All right, we get a break in here. We'll come back. Phone lines go open. One last chance for you to get in and get your team in. A bunch of you have sent them in via the text window. Rory McIlroy started showing up on a lot of the picks. We didn't get into that over the phone, but he started showing up on some of the picks. You want to get in, 256-576-4977 at 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing. We have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Our customers want best-in-class solutions. That's why we've recently added many new vendors like Zebra barcode printers. Our next level team has added premier automation solutions. We're not here to sell you just one product, and we love helping you find the right solution to your specific needs. That's what doing the right thing is all about, and that's why our customers have come back for over 50 years.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flosa Premier. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flo tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flo, think fun for everyone.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case.
And we'll take care of it.
The Lackey Law Firm. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Spring is in the air, making it a great time to make plans to visit the Lodge at Guntersville State Park. The Lodge at Guntersville State Park sits on a cliff overlooking beautiful Guntersville Lake with vistas from the cliffside rooms as well as the Pinecrest Room, the Lodge's premier restaurant. And as the weather warms, enjoy the gorgeous pool that overlooks the lake as well. The park also features cabins, a beach, and a boat launch, so bring your boat to take the fun to the lake. The Lodge at Guntersville State Park. Book your visit today.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Show. I just picked a random year, Grizz. This segment of the show is brought to you by the Service Department at Woody Anderson Ford. Servicing your vehicle, all vehicles. They get it done at Woody Anderson Ford. They get it done at the body shop as well. They do a tremendous job there. And, of course, they have got the certified gold pre-owned vehicles. They are outstanding. That's where I get mine as well and have been doing that for 20 years now. So I just randomly picked 1987, Grizz. Innings pitched. Charlie Huff, 285, led the way. Roger Clemens, 281, 272. Bert Blyleven, 267. Jack Morris, 266. Oral Hershiser, 264. 261. Dave Stewart, 261. Jimmy Key, 261. Kurt Saberhagen, 257. That's your top 10.
Yeah.
Every one of those guys did. None of those guys had arm trouble.
No.
That's your top 10 from 285 to 257. Garrett Cole led Major League Baseball last year in innings pitched. You want to take a guess at how many innings he pitched?
A little over 200.
209. 209 innings, and he led Major League Baseball in innings pitched with basically a third less than what the guys pitched in 1987. Just a random year, 1987.
Yeah.
Grumpy is up.
20 years ago, there was more pitching.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's 30 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, pretty good, man. I'll get on this Master Fecta. All right. I'm going chalk on you, man. Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, and McElroy. That's as chalk as you can get.
Oh, I don't know about the McElroy one. I mean, I hope so. I'm pulling for him big time. I didn't look at the odds, the betting odds to see, but
he's plus 1,100.
Yeah,
according to DraftKings Casino, that's 1, 2, and 3. Scotty being 1, Rahm being 2, and McElroy or whatever his name is being third.
I get Scotty and Rahm. That makes sense. McElroy has just had so much trouble there. He just has not been able to get it done. There's so much pressure for him to become the 5th person ever to have the the career Grand Slam. But
I'm sorry. I know there's not a show tomorrow, but is there a show Friday?
Yep. Oh yeah, we got a good show Friday coming up. Yeah.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
All right, thanks. Yeah, we got a show Friday. We're going to have a good one on Friday. We are going to have Pete Sands joining us Friday. He is the head pro out at Cherokee Ridge. He's going to join us to assess where we are through round 1 and halfway through round 2 of the Masters. And then we'll also have a preview of the Alabama spring game coming up on Friday as well, because that's Saturday. That will be on ESPN at 2:30, and you'll also hear it right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone with Chris Stewart on the call. All right, that's going to do it for us. Paul Feinbaum is coming up next. Then the drive. And then Braves baseball against the Mets. All coming up tonight on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.